All right, guys. Hi, welcome Carl Brick 73 Live. And today we have a special guest on my show. And one of the things, this is my mentor right here, Cortez Chandler, with the Timeliest Group, Inc. And he has been an inspiration to me as well as a mentor. And I told him before having this show, I was a little nervous, and he said, "Why?" And the reason why is because I didn't want to mess this up. So here we go. This is Cortez Chandler. Introduce yourself, even though I have already.
How you doing, brother? How y'all doing? My name is Cortez Chandler. I'm the vice president of the Timeless Group. Anything else you want me to say about it?
Well, we're both nervous. So here's the thing. You've been a beacon for a lot of us coming out of the penitentiary first. Me personally, I did 14 years, 4 months for a violent crime, and Cortez didn't look down on me when I came home. Actually, he gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. He groomed me. He's still grooming me, right? He's proactive in the community, not just with myself, but a lot of men here at the firehouse on Somerset. And it's a wonderful thing. And I am now an alumni from the Somerset house. And so one thing I noticed about Cortez is he always stayed balanced, even in the times when everything was chaotic and even when we've given him a hard time. And I just want you to tell the people, what is it that you're doing to keep yourself calm and keep yourself balanced?
Well, first you have to understand where you came from, your environment, and how you're living now. Okay, because when you first came home, everybody was turned up. Everybody was in that environment to where they wanted to get out, make money, and do it the best way they could.
Right.
But you actually have to leave that alone. You have to let go of everything that you know to learn something new and develop your mindset to build. Okay, and your whole mindset is developed into build. I did 24 years on 25 in life. I've been home August 19th to be 5 years.
Wow.
Okay, and I set a 5-year goal plan to get to that point. You know, and a lot of times people write it down, or they'll talk it, and they'll pray on it, what they want in life. Now, everything that you want in life is not just about not doing the work. You have to do the work. I just seen something today where Steve Harvey was saying, you don't need 8 hours of sleep. You know, you don't need 8 hours of sleep to make it if you really want to work. Right. If you really want to engage yourself in the life. If the stock market opens at 6 o'clock, you know, in the morning, East Coast time.
Right, right.
So what time should we be up? You know, that's how I look at it. What time should we be up to grow and develop something into something bigger than what we could ever imagine?
Right.
I mean, I couldn't say I was sure my 5-year plan was going to work.
Right.
You know, because I came home just like you came home. I was in the same environment. I stayed in this house just like you did.
Right.
You know, and my goal was to achieve something, but I didn't have all the necessary work. I didn't have everybody giving me something, but I had to go get it.
Wow.
And the way I went to go get it wasn't just about getting physical and like cars or getting another job. It was about how I felt about what I was doing. I always look at being a part of Timeless Group as a career. It's not just you. It's not just working. You know what I'm saying? People take it like that sometimes. Well, I got my check. My check was short. But if you really applying yourself to what you're doing, you're going to see a bigger thing. Every job I've ever had in my life, every job, and I never knew this about myself, but the guys that I grew up with told me, they said, man, I'm not surprised that you're the VP.
Right.
He said, because your attitude and the way you carry yourself, you always want to know the next man's job.
Right.
Okay? And that's what I'm doing. I'm learning the next man's job. I'm learning Yusuf's job. I'm learning your job. I have to learn. I had to do everything that you're doing now.
Right.
I had to do the same steps to grow.
Right.
You know, and to keep myself balanced, it was more internal peace.
Right.
And I had to find out everybody in this world has an issue. Everybody in this world has a problem. I have problems every day. And it's not just work. You know, dealing with my relationship, which I married my wife the day I walked out of prison. You know, the first day I walked out, by 7:30 that night, I was married. You know, because I had it in my mind, I'm not getting ready to go out here and play. If I'm going to be focused, I need somebody in my life that's going to carry me through my life.
Right.
You know, so I always focused on that part of my life. So to be balanced, you actually have to understand who you are. Okay? And I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm a being. I'm a human being. I know that now. But I have a question for you, and this is huge. This is huge, and I say this a lot in my shows. First, Yusuf Wali, shout out, CEO, and then Vice President. Right, these guys are actually beacons in the community. Right, they are providing jobs. They are providing shelter for the homeless, and it's a beautiful thing, and I want to know, man, what is the drive of Timeless? I mean, what drives you guys, and what is the passion, and what surrounds that passion for you guys to be so proactive in the community? Because you really are. I watched 10 guys come home from prison. I'm talking about in the last month, and all of them are working.
Well, I can say this. That feeling that you get when you get goosebumps on your arm, or you just tingling, and you got it.
Right.
I get that every day from you guys.
Right.
From you. You know what I'm saying? You motivate me to keep pushing forward.
Right.
No matter how my day went or what's going on, I'm still going to talk to you. I'm still going to learn from you. See, my mind has always been open to learn.
Yeah.
Okay? No matter what situation, or I can't learn nothing from that person, I can learn from every person in this world.
Right.
Okay? Anybody that I come in contact with, I greet them with what I am.
Right.
My heart. And people are perceptive to that, and they use it to their advantage. And say, okay, well, he's giving me this. You ask me for advice all the time.
I do.
Okay? But you already know the answer. To a lot of questions you already asked me, you know the answer to. But you just asking to reassure yourself. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to ask them questions. If you say, hey, I got too much pepper in this food, what do you think?
Right.
I'm going to have to taste it to find out. I'm not going to know it. You know what you put in there.
Right.
So whatever you giving back to your community and how you giving it to them, that's where your growth is.
Right.
That's where you determine who you are. Relationships are difficult. We've all been through, ups and downs and arguing and debating with the wife. But at the same time, is that my second half? Is that my better half? Let me say second. I ain't going to say second. I'm no woman. She's my better half or my equal.
Okay, now, real quick. So I want to ask him this question for these youngsters out here, right? They come from these broken homes, right? If it's something inspirational that you can leave them with and let them know that it's hope. And also, because I got a lot of homeboys that still hanging out on them corners, man. They hanging out on the corners, and we have resources. It's resources. You got Goodwill. You got Timeless, right? You have resources. And what is it? Why do you think they don't try to contact these resources? And what is it that you could tell them that they should, or lead them in the right direction so they can get help?
Well, you know that old saying, if there's five dudes hanging on the block and you one of them, that's who you are. That's your destiny. That's where you want to be. Right. Now, you can always break from that. Right. That's why I tell people, I haven't been back to my environment that I grew up in a long time. Okay? But when I did go back, the one person that I looked as my partner that was grinding, doing everything I was doing, he still stays with his mom. He hasn't moved forward. When I left, he's still in the same spot. That's 28 years. And you still at the same spot with your family. Don't get me wrong, people move back to help their family out. I understand that, but he never left. Don't get complacent. Don't get content. Look for growth in yourself. Every day there's something you can grow with. If it's taking a walk around the block, next time you're taking 2 walks around the block. Next time you jogging, I pay attention to you, brother. You see what I'm saying? Right. I'm feeding you something that you do already. Right. Okay? Then you started running around the block. Yeah. Then you started running up to a mile. Yeah. Okay? That's because you were looking to attain a goal. And you've done that. You know what I'm saying? I'm amazed that you got this podcast going.
Oh yeah. This is huge. This is huge.
I watch you every time it come up on my phone.
Thank you, and I appreciate that.
And I think everybody else should too. Yeah. I think everybody else should be a part of a big car right here.
Yeah. Now this is like a big brother figure to me. Like I said, there's no gimmicks with him. This show, I was nervous doing this show going into it because I wanted the show to be special, and this is why it took so long to do it. But the Timeless Group, they're real, right? They're not only helping prisoners get jobs, they're helping everybody in the community get jobs, for one, and not discriminating, right? Very patient, loving, right? And we need a lot of love down here. That was one of my pet peeves growing up. Is I didn't believe that this kind of love would be true, but it's true. It's true, right? And then I believed in my mind that no one would ever help me. I believed in my mind that this was it for me. Gang culture, right? I no longer believe that, right? And I no longer believe that there's more bad people in the world than good. It's more good people. We just haven't met them. And I met one right here, right? And here's another thing before we go. I want to say this. I really want to say this about the Timeless family, you and Yusuf. I am grateful, right? Even though at times we all make mistakes and have shortcomings, I'm human. However, I'm not a fool. And what they're doing in the community is huge. I'm talking to my subscribers, man. Look Timeless Inc. up, right? Reach out to Cortez, reach out to Yusuf, collaborate with them. They are really making a difference in the community. One thing I left out is they're struggling with the mental health, helping the mental health. Everybody needs to get aboard in that, right? Because it's a lot of people with mental health issues in our communities right now sleeping on the corner. And guess what? Action packed. Right? Action packed. Guess what? They are providing jobs in the community, right? They are working around gentrification as well, and they're being unselfish. I watch him work around the clock, right? And sometimes I don't know how he do it, right? And it drives me because, like you said, I like to sleep 8 hours, but I watching him and by him being my mentor, I just don't. So one last thing I want to say, man, and to you, and I want to ask you this before we go. What's the next level for Timeless?
Well, the next level to Timeless is to go nationwide. You know what I'm saying? That's my vision.
Yeah.
And the opportunities that we can do to help our community, help our people. Just because it's Los Angeles doesn't mean we can't go to another city. Doesn't mean we can't go to another state.
Right.
We're developing things to help out everybody.
Right.
Okay. And it's not because you're poverty. It's because you are labeled from the color of your skin to the church you go to the way you walk.
Right.
People look at you in a different way, you know. But now we're presenting to people who they are, okay? And everybody that's in prison is not bad. Everybody that's in prison has made a mistake.
That's right.
Even if you didn't do the crime, you were around certain people that put you in that environment. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to take yourself out of that environment. And that's what we're doing. That's why I said, when you go out and you go to a store you've never been to, not because of the price, it's too high, or it's in that neighborhood. No. Explore. Explore yourself. Explore your mind, and don't put yourself on a label of a street corner, you know, because that sign is nothing, okay? Because we don't own that sign. You know what I'm saying? We do not own that sign. So you got to think about that. What do you want to do with your life, and how do you want to do it? There's always help. So I advise everybody out there, seek the help. If it's not Timeless, I'll lead you to somebody that can help you. Okay, and that's how I work. That's why everybody has jobs, because I try to help people that want to work, you know, that want that second chance, that want to grow. And people like you that's growing before my eyes. I mean, I seen you when you came home, brother. I seen you when you came home.
Oh yeah, I was something else.
Yeah.
I was something else.
But now, who are you?
I'm Carl, man, and I'm responsible, right? I'm respondent versus resistant. I'm a provider, right? I'm a provider. And I am a community servant. I am a servant to the community, thanks to Timeless, right? We in the community being proactive. I do believe in the cause now. I believe in feeding the homeless. I believe in doing more than just talking, because sometimes I like to talk. You know, this is action too. We have to get in this fight. And also, I just want to reiterate, this guy right here started at the bottom as a manager. He is vice president of a major company, Timeless Inc. They in the house, man. What more can I say? I just wanted him to come on the show, man, because it is a pleasure to have him, and it's a privilege to have him in my life as a mentor and also a big brother figure, right? He is a the meaning of a big brother, right? And they say, what is love? Love is effort. He put effort into us. He's grooming us, right? So, community, contact Timeless, right? Support Timeless. I support him, right? I back him 100%. Everything we said wasn't watered down. With that said, Cortez, you want to leave him with something?
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching. Go out and subscribe.
pretty soon it'll be on network.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
just keep watching it.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. Every day, it's coming. Oh, yeah, shout out to Yusef and family, Shanae Wiley, Junior, AJ, what's up, man? Love you, man. I know you cooking. Who else, man? It goes on. Stephen over on the home street. Then we got on 61st. What's Patrice? Shout out to Patrice, right? The Timeliest family, right? You guys done a lot for a lot of us, man. We with the movement, and so I say thank you, Carl Briggs 73 Live. Go out and subscribe.